year we've been patrolling the game, watching the throne, plotting on Jay and Kanye, Marshall and Andre, Lil Wayne, Drake, Wiz Khalifa, Wale, that bitch Nicki, J. Cole, Rose.
Don't just Mumble TV. Big
Shotty. Back again.
Back again. You see me? Alright. Kendrick was held in high regard for the control verse that he did and called out many rappers. He was also held in high regard even by us for the high power track he did. Absol did both of those things before Kendrick did.
Bitch Nicki.
Did Kendrick by Absol on purpose? Or is it just the timing?
It was intentional. I think it was like he was as in if he was conscious of what he was doing.
Of the impact it would have when he did it, or is it just the timing? Like, what were you saying? Continue.
I was wondering if you were saying that if he was conscious that he was
doing what absolutely.
Yeah,
I guess he had to be conscious of that. So that part is alright, but did the impact then? Did he know that when he did it, or did he time it perfectly? Like, this is when I'm going to talk about it, or did it just happen naturally?
That was on Section 8.
Section 80?
80.
What was on Section? High power. But I'm talking about control.
No.
Like, that's
with
two things that gave him a bomb. Both of those gave him.
Even if he didn't know that it would create this shift in the game, he knew it would have created at least a tremor. You know it would. That was intentional. That was definitely intentional. In turn, he knew what he was doing and knew, I had an idea what the possibilities.
And he knew that Absol already did it.
Oh, that again. I don't think that was much in
shit, like, yeah, but he was conscious that Absol already.
Well, like, obviously, if he heard the verse, he was conscious of it.
Yeah, so if you don't know, it's probably news to you.
I don't think he was like while he probably was like, yo, like, oh, absolutely, you know. I don't think he was with like a high power where he when he knew like this is like absurd. Like basically, this is all absurd. Not
in high power, I think he was conscious while doing it.
Yeah.
It would have been in his mind.
Yeah.
But with control, it was
he
almost like
did
his
style. Instantaneously. You know,
like shit.
Like, yeah.
So I already did some shit like that.
Yeah, no, I mean.
So.
What you think? That must steal my points for yourself. Man.
What I mean?
But just say what I think about the high power and why I am there.
I asked
but you have to answer your question same way. No, you know, give your... But you also have to answer your question.
High power, as you rightfully said, I think that high power, it was really in his head. He knew that it was absurd. I'm not sure about the impact. I'm not sure both of those gave his career a bump in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm not sure about the impact with high power. So
I'm not sure if he knew that, oh, this is going to push me, and then when he did control, control was a bit more predictable in terms of the impact.
Yeah.
It was a bit more predictable.
And seeing that he was
his spotlight was already, he was already Kendrick, so.
And I guess with high power, he probably knew that it would have a bigger impact than Absol, because he, you know, like, as I said, some fans just choose certain people. And
yeah, he was already a bigger artist than Absol.
In terms of that, we probably would have had a bigger impact, but not necessarily the impact that it had or has, depending on how I want to look at it.
So yeah, I agree with that. But you too, like, is that news to you? Did you know that? What kind
Only
of
one. That's the Absol track, I think.
What Absol track?
That he name called. No,
is this news to you? Did you know that?
Oh damn!
Are you an Absol fan? If you're an Absol fan, you know that Absol is all about the eclectic, abstract shit. Absol talk about all of the third eye, sacred geometry type of shit. You know what I mean? The pyramids and extraterrestrial. That's more his speed than Kendrick. So, like Hypo, as I said, they probably know and love that song. Did you know that it was heavily influenced by Absol and Control, where he name dropped? Did you know that Absol did that in 2008? And the first project that he saw, Long Term Mentality, and a track named Hell Yeah, did that.
Man,
that's probably
smoke, man.
That's probably 4 years before.
You did the research before you come up. So
yeah, I had it.
No fear.
No, it's not fair. I was explaining it and you jumped in to say. So I was just
such a douche, man.
I was just saying like, nah, it wasn't that song. But
I wish me to do it.
Yeah. So the next topic now.
What else?
How hard do rappers have to work to avoid a sophomore slump? Like,
a sophomore slump.
Alright, where you come out with your first
cracker.
Yeah. You come out with the first album and it's really good and you have to, but they say you have your whole life to make your first album. Because like you spend if your first album come at 20 years, you take your time and wait till it's finished and then you put it on. No pressure, nobody is waiting. It's not high. It's probably not highly anticipated, depending on how big you are. But you know what I mean, like
because like especially if you like sign your first project, your first album. Pressure, a lot of pressure.
Your first project. I understand. I hope you understand what I'm saying. Where rappers say that your first project you have your whole life to make it.
No, that's not what you just said.
Yeah, but I still hope you understand.
I get what you're saying now.
Alright, then I hope you understand now what I was saying. But
yeah, but
after when you have the spotlight now, when you have other things that taking up your time, when you have more pressure on you to do it again and to improve, like how difficult is that? Or do you think it?
First of all, I think it's easy. I guess what I think another factor that makes it easier for artists to do the first album is because, like, in terms of years, it's the more than likely it would be, unless you started rapping from your 11, more than likely it would be the most time that you get to experience, like, it would be the most of your life basically. You get what I'm trying to say? Like before the first project, like when you do the other project, like you say
in terms of content.
In terms of content,
run out,
like
basically.
yeah, like you have a whole more. If you're talking about your life, that is, you have a whole lot more content to use than suppose you drop your first project and then 2 years later you drop your album.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. But I think it can be tricky, but for the most part, it definitely can be tricky.
I think it's very difficult for rappers to do it. A lot of them end up doing it. Some people just take their time, and some people have the star power to take their time, and people will wait. Like Kendrick took a while to come back, but he handled it perfectly, obviously, and then came out again. So he didn't.
I think you just like, even if I personally think that this whole thing with fans saying, oh, we want the album, as long as you don't do a detox or a jail, and even with jail, like, I still think it's when he releases his album, it will be still highly anticipated. With the pressure, I think it's an imaginary pressure. With the second album, a pressure that artists put on themselves, because I guess they're not as aware, mature, or they probably don't have as much the certain influence or bigger heads around them to tell them that as long as their next album is to pimp a butterfly quality or what it is there. That's the second J. Cole album. A dark album. It's way dark. Mind Sinner. As long as you come with your quality music, they will quarrel, but they're fans. So when they get it, they're still going to. So just take your time and deliver a second album.
I suppose you're on a track where you're clearly not getting there. You're trying to make a 14-song album, and it's been 2 years and you only have 5 songs. So you're going, at this rate, it's going to take you 5 years.
Well, I guess so. Oh, that would be like writer's block or something like that.
No, maybe just like you naturally didn't do it that quickly, but just being a star and having to go to this photo shoot, this video, this interview, just this show, this tour, just having less.
That never happened to the biggest.
What I mean, it never happened to.
Like I don't think someone can be that famous where they can't find the time to do the music for 5 years.
Not necessarily for, like, even if you don't see it for 5 years, that's irrelevant. Like, do you understand that you can have 100% of your time and now you only have 20% and you're supposed to use that time to make music? You can understand how that can.
Yeah, you can understand, but with time, with time, like, even though not probably, even though more pressure would probably be there with time, or seemingly with definitely with the amount of free time I have to make music. And free time, it's a free time and it's the work at the same time, but you know what I mean. So that's a fact, but with time the writing skills get better at the same time, like the skill of the art or the skill of
not necessarily.
Doing something over everybody has to improve while doing something
so regression
over.
is just a word. Or it only happens when you stop trying.
I think it only happens like.
So Ronaldinho can play like 25 right now.
No, well, when I naturally get with something physical, like this is a mental.
But the brain is still an organ.
Yes, but in the time frame that people normally rap, like the age. I don't know any 60 or 70-year-old rappers, but I guess that's not the point. Where was I?
Yo.
Alright, let's say the less time, like 20%, you have less free time to do the music. And I was saying that the writings over time, the writing come unless they're really not trying. Your writing skills, just doing it, doing songs and songs, coming up with ideas upon ideas. It has to get better.
So they're gonna make you finish faster, or they're going to just
No, it's going to improve. Well, I guess both. It will help you to finish faster at times, like, because if you're certain people, I don't know. I'm not a rapper, but I would think that improving your writing skills would probably allow you to, like, probably, I don't know, complete a song quicker. I don't know if you already have the concept. And I think that's why, like, Vic can freestyle so good, because I think he, like, just that practice, just writing.
But probably the freestyles are written.
Wow. I could have sworn a couple times I said, kicking off the brain, like it meant you can write that too. But you get my point though. You look very underwhelmed.
I get that point though. But the point I'm making, I still think it's difficult. Even if it's an imaginary pressure, it doesn't matter, it's still pressure. Whether you create it for yourself, whether fans are putting it, I guess it's still pressure and it's still less time. So it obviously will be more difficult, but a lot of rappers do overcome it. But a lot probably don't.
I guess everything has some level of difficulty.
So it clearly can be done, but a lot of people have had a sophomore slump.
Yeah, fair enough.
So that's how I feel about it.
You can give the people a little bit more energy, please.
Really?
Yeah?
Energy about what?
You seem very underwhelmed.
About what?
I don't know. Anyway, what are we talking about next?
That's it.
That's it.
Yeah, so like,
share,
make sure your comment is
share, subscribe, hit the notification bell or button.
Well,
none of that man. That's not you.
Don't just Mumble TV, Biggs.
Shotty.
Oh.
Oh, I got martyrs with me, ship is charter, we've been on a mission, low-key expedition, using intuition, losing inhibitions just to get but only inches through the door. Put you on some shit you didn't know.